So, Sunday night, January 15th, 7 p.m. Eastern. I missed the Eastern last few umpteen times. I'm sorry. On YouTube, the Red Zone. We have the new look Mexico City Aztecs at the new Alaska Storm. What you got, Doug?
What an interesting game this one could be. Again, this falls right in what I've been saying with builds and the mystery of things. But Alaska, you guys got those 3 gold players with 4 abilities, just like Vegas, in the running back, the strong safety, and the tight end. Got the double tight end set going. What is that going to do for your running back, Bentley? Your defense last year, when you ran the show in Baltimore, finished 4th in the league. Now you got to design, build, and create your own defense. One would be thought to believe here that means the Alaska Storm defense would be even tougher than the Baltimore defense from last season. Mexico City had the 15th defense last year, the number 2 offense. Ramos is back in control with some things. He's brought in Chris Davis to run some things. So this team's went out and got themselves some coaches. They've mixed around their build a little bit. They went from having a bronze bomber to a silver slinger. Now they got a gold gunner, Mr. Matt Wilson. We thought he was good 2 seasons ago and improved last year. He's going to improve that much more this season, I believe. If you look at Matt's numbers from last season, you just sit back and you kind of scratch your head and say, how are these numbers possible? The guy averaged over 400 yards a game. I think it was 414 yards or what have you. And his interception to touchdown ratio wasn't where they wanted it. It was 35 touchdowns, 33 interceptions. But when you complete 63%, 70% of your passes, you have 70% of his passes, this guy is going to be a menace. One of the numbers I saw from Matt Wilson, and remember this was as a silver last year, he threw at least 1 touchdown in every single game, the entire season, which is a good feat when you go look at all the starting quarterbacks last year. And in those 12 games, only twice did he only throw 1. And his touchdown numbers, and I'll throw these out there so people know, this is how many touchdowns he threw in each game. It was 6, 4, 3, 3, 2, 1, 4, 1, 2, and then he had 3 touchdown games to close out the season. That's an impressive number. But, like I said, the interception ratio is the same way because it was 0, 2, 4, 3, 1, 4, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3. Can bumping him to gold take away the interception numbers, or will it climb? Because some people firmly believe when you're a gold, the quarterback is willing to risk himself a little bit more. He's willing to force some passes a little more. Does Mexico City throw the ball as much as they did last season? That's another thing that we got to question. Because if you know what they're about last season, do you change it, or do you stick with what works? So I mean, we'll see what they're going to do. But Mexico City, to me, is going to be one of the tougher teams out of the West. And getting back to your Mr. Alaska Storm here, I kind of like the build. There's only one thing about the build I don't like, and I'm going to touch on that, and that is just having a 2-ability quarterback. I have to question that. You've already sold me on the kicks thing that bothered me. I can leave that alone now. I can dig it. The 2-ability quarterback is just, So for me, I'm thinking you guys got to be leading heavily on Beakley Jr. Optimus Klein, Slinky Watts, the double tight ends, I think are going to be key for you guys. And I'm going to be down if you do a classic pound the rock, small dink and dunk. Murdoch Mock doesn't need to have too many abilities. He just does that type of deal. And if that's the type of offense that's being run, I think the defense you're going against might be the type of defense you want to see. Because the one thing I'm going to point out is the fact that linebacker that Mexico City has, what's his name, Jamu Afolabi. I'm not sure if he's an inside or an outside linebacker, but he's the only linebacker that they have. He's going to be paired up one-on-one with those 2 tight ends, And if he's in the middle, that opens up the outside for Beakley Jr. to go against generics. It's the type of build I'm sure you can eat up. But until I see what you and Mr. Stevie T. Diggs bring to the table, I'm going to have to go with Ramos and pick the Aztecs this week.
Looking at matchups and then also understanding how Mexico City likes to attack folk, they're not shy about putting the ball in the air several times a game and forgetting that there's a guy back there to hand the ball off to. Until the defense forgets that there's a guy to hand the ball up to, and then he rips up a 50-yarder. So coming into this game, we had the game plan to kind of pick a poison and what we're able to live with and what we're not able to live with. So looking at that, you got the bump up in Matt Wilson, which means he's even more aggressive a thrower. He was already an aggressive downfield thrower. Now he's even more aggressive. But he's going against a secondary that's kind of equipped to, maybe not stop, but at least slow down, impede, get in the way, complete maybe one or two less of those long passes and forcing field goals. But then again, last year's Santa Fe team, they dropped 30 on everybody like it's nothing. I think they had a couple of games where they got stuck in the 20s and one game where they got stuck in teens. But besides that, they were dropping 30 on everybody. And one understanding that it's going to be kind of a track meet. If there's no elements to kind of assist in the defensive, and stopping them defensively, then the ball's going to be in the air a lot, and it's going to be, hey, who's going to come down with it? Is it going to be those great skill position players that Mexico City has, or will it be the talented secondary that Alaska's put together? That's where they
numbers. You said that the points they allowed. They didn't score 30 or more points in just 3 games last season, and went 1-2 in those games. So they were 28, and 22 or 16. So they had two 28-point scores and a 16. They were 1-2 in those games. Beaten Tallahassee 28-23, lost to Orlando 45-28, and lost to Dallas 22-16, which was their lowest output of the season, 16 points.
And that's kind of that's the only way Alaska can pull this out is if they keep the game low scoring. If the game gets in the 30s with the Browns quarterback that Alaska has, I can't see him dropping 4 touchdowns on anybody, even with 4 ability Justin Beakley and 4 ability Klein. Mexico City problems. I can't see him doing that. Now, they force a turnover here or a turnover there, that would be a different ball game. But head to head, if it's a high scoring matchup, Mexico City got this going away. But if they're able to, if Alaska State able to slow them down a little bit, force field goals instead of allowing touchdowns, and keep the game close, I like their chances. But for the sake of breaking down the way you're supposed to break it down, Mexico City would be the team that I look for to pull this one out if they play to the ability that they can play.
There you go.